Hello everyone, it is Thursday, September 23rd, and oh my goodness, have things been happening these last 2 weeks. So just so you know up front, this really isn't a crochet video. This is about house hunting, because as you know, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I have to move. Because the landlady has sold the property, and we have until next June to move, and I will be moving with the landlady. She will have an ADU for me at wherever she ends up. So we have been all over LA County, all the way from West Hills, which is way out in the valley, way out west in the valley, and down to Long Beach and San Pedro, and out east towards Glendora. And the Glendora house that we visited, well, first of all, I have to tell you, the traffic to get there was an absolute nightmare. In fact, as soon as we got on the freeway, I was pretty much at a dead stop. And so I said, we have to get off the freeway, we have to find an alternate route because this freeway is not moving, something's wrong. And so we turned on the traffic news radio channel, and what we learned later on was that there was a shooting between two cars on that freeway, and that one of the people had been killed, and it was right where we got on the freeway almost. So yeah, that traffic was backed up for hours. Anyways, we had 2 appointments in Glendora, and we couldn't make one of them because we were so slowed down by the traffic. We did go to the other one, and that house was an interesting A-frame house, and had a magnificent backyard and a magnificent pool with like little waterfalls going on into the pool, and some fruit trees in the yard, although they were mostly limes, and it was just set up for like the backyard area was for parties and just great entertaining. But the landlady doesn't really entertain, so anyways, that house sold within 2 days, so we didn't get that. And then we went to this one house out in the valley, and you know, I just never really prayed about the houses that we looked at, and because I know that God's going to provide whatever, and it's going to be fine. For whatever He provides, it's going to be fine. So I just try not to look at them, try not to say anything about them, because I don't want her to take things one way or the other. And in fact, you know, when we were at the house at Glendora, I made the comment, well, this looks like a great place for parties, and that was like, you know, I felt like that kind of killed it. But so, you know, she's always looked at them, you know, she would convert a garage into an ADU for me, and I was thinking, well, you know, that's fine, I can live with it. And then we went out to the valley again, to another city, and looked at this one house, and it's like this long house, but it was originally a house and a separate unit with a little breezeway in between, and that was eventually redone so that the breezeway was enclosed, but there's a separate unit, and then there's, which is a 2-bedroom unit. And it's just like it's a 900 square foot apartment, which is, you know, is plenty big, and then there's the rest of the house, which is over 2,000 square feet. But it's like, well, I don't want to get my hopes up because I just don't want to do it. You know, whatever God provides is what He provides. Well, He provided that house because the landlady put in an offer and it was accepted. And it wasn't even the highest offer. So, that was like maybe 2 weeks ago. We've been out to the house 3 times. The current owners are still there. They leave on October 5th. And I think escrow closes on the 6th of October. So, I'm going to show you a bit of the house and where I'll be living, and show you a little bit of the backyard. One of the really cool things is my little unit has its own covered patio, and right outside the patio is a fenced-in patio. Right outside the patio is a big old pomegranate tree, and the pomegranates are ripe at this time. So, like, we just came back from being out there and talking with the owners, one of the things he said was, oh, now I forgot my train of thought. But anyhow, I asked if I could pick them, and he was like, well, it's your guys' house now. And well, technically it isn't, not until the 6th of October. But the tree was just full of pomegranates. There was no way that he and his wife were going to eat that many pomegranates. So he's like, yeah, help yourself. So I probably brought home about 30 pounds of pomegranates and didn't even make a dent in the tree. So they are ripe now. They don't have that deep, well, this one kind of has more of a deep red color, but most of them are a lighter pink like this. But they are ripe now. So I am going to be seeding them, and then you can put the seeds, I think they're called arrows, and you can just freeze them. So I'll be putting them in Ziploc bags and freezing them, and then when I want something, I'll just take some out of the freezer. Also in the backyard, it is just full of avocado trees. There are 7 different varieties, and this owner, he knew all about them, if they were A pollinators or B pollinators, and knew what was what. And I mean, he just had reams of paperwork on these avocado trees. They were his babies. Now, my landlady loves avocados, so we were very happy to get avocados. There's one tree, well, 2 trees right now that have avocados on them, but they're not ready to be picked. But we will be picking them and eating them. Yes, we will be avocado rich. There's also a Meyer lemon tree, but it doesn't have any lemons on it because it's just a small, little thing. It's not ready for fruit yet. There's artichokes, there's lemongrass, there's a stevia plant, there's all kinds. I mean, just the wife of this guy, it was Filipino, and she just grew a lot of plants that are used in Filipino food. So anyhow, I'm going to show you the inside of my little place and the inside of the landlady's place. Keep in mind, it's like the kitchen in her place is going to be completely ripped out, and she's going to remodel it. And the floor in my place is kind of like a sunken living room, but it's only sunken like 3 inches. So she's going to be raising the floor to even it out, because she just feels like it's like a lawsuit waiting to happen. And even when we were in there today, the realtor tripped over that little tiny, like 3-inch step into the kitchen. So I did take a lot of video, I am not going to necessarily narrate it because I did narrate it initially, but it sounds like I'm huffing and puffing, and I'm really not out of breath, but my voice, or the sound is so close to the camera, just you hear every little breath I made. So I'm just going to put music under it, and I hope you will enjoy little bits and pieces of this new place. And we're still probably not going to move in until May or June because supplies are hard to get, and in fact the landlady is now going to start looking at appliances because it's going to take a long time to get them. And she does have a contractor already that she's worked with before. So anyhow, we're not going to be still moving until May or June, but maybe trickling moving over bit by bit. So, okay, without further ado, here's the footage. Okay, this is the front entrance to the hallway, but actually this is the door to the outside. And then, as you can see, there's this long hallway, and I think she's going to put another washer and dryer in here, and she'll put her exercise equipment in here. And then this door leads into the main house, and that door, this little door here, which, woohoo, has a screen door. Okay, so this one leads into the guest house, and I'm going to take you in there. Okay, we are in the guest house, which is going to be my new home. And there's a sofa in here. They said we could keep it if we wanted it. I might, since I don't have a sofa. The kitchen. Nice little kitchen area. There's no dishwasher, but I don't have. I haven't had a dishwasher since 1992, so I don't really care. So, looks like a 5-burner stove. And looks like good places for the microwave there. Oh, it's got a built-in microwave. But I have a microwave. A good place for a toaster oven. And over here, there's an outlet for the coffee maker. And there's a bar counter, so maybe I can use this for a desk. So, now the weird thing is, this place has these little tiny steps. Like there's one right there, but it's tiny. It's like 3 inches. But there's a step into the bedroom as well. This is the first bedroom. And there's a closet there. I'm trying to think if my queen size bed's gonna fit. This looks like they've got a double bed in here. And I'm trying to think, my queen size bed will fit, and then a bedside table. And will I be able to get around and make the bed? And then there's a bathroom right here. Okay. So I would say this is that was the main bedroom. And there's another entrance into the bathroom. And then we have this second little bedroom here. Again, there's a little tiny step. And so we're going to turn this room into a cat room. So anyhow, this is my new home, probably starting around May, June. I think that brown cabinet is going to stay here, and I will turn that into a pantry. I'm just trying to look and see, is there room for the landlady's piano in here? It'd be nice to have a piano in here. Not that she plays it. So anyhow, this is going to be my new little home. So my little house, called the guest house, actually has its own enclosed porch with a roof on it. It has an entrance this way, and it has an entrance that way into the back garden. So I would say maybe this porch is like 9 by 20. This pomegranate tree is gonna be right outside my door. Woohoo! I love pomegranates. Look at that, we have some bougainvillea, which gets kind of invasive, but I love bougainvillea, it's so beautiful. Okay, so this is like some of the backyard area that would be outside of my little house, which is right here. It's attached to the main house. You can hear that there's traffic nearby, maybe because this house is on a main street.
Actually, I totally do. Then over here, I'm so proud of my collection. It's kind of good that somebody...
Oh my gosh, all those pictures. Especially that giant one you had in the photo right here.
Okay, so this is the one that I would plant in the back.
Okay, and I will plant it.
So this is a reed. He's an A pollinator. We're going to go see some B pollinators back there.
How do you know that though? That they're A or B?
Hello.
Well, it'll say on here. I have a summary sheet that I can give you, but it should say on here as well.
Okay.
Like this big tree over here is the fastest fruiting of the bunch. This is, well, actually I have my phone, so.
Yeah, I noticed like you have a lot of them protected. Is that from pests?
No, from dog.
Oh!
I can tear that down if you
No,
don't
that's
want
okay.
that.
No, it kind of gives me a clue, like, you know.
Yeah, let me just turn myself that way. So this guy is our surprise house, and he.
What did you think he was? Did he plant himself?
No, but say so. Here's avocado growing. He doesn't have a ton of avocados this year. And what was exposed to the sun. The paint is to keep the important part of the tree from burning and dying.
Right, and keep cooler. Oops.
And that's a, what did you say, a Charwell?
No,
A Carmen
this
Haas.
Yeah. So he's a Carmen.
Okay. What is that? Oh, this one?
This guy back here, what is he?
Oh,
This is the other,
oh, you have a tag. Okay.
yeah, this one's the other, what do you call it?
The round one.
Yeah, the,
Oh wow, they start the baby like that.
I'm sorry, reed. So he's the same as that reed behind you,
Okay.
except that I think that one's growing better, but that might be a function of he's too much in the shade. Very good variety. A pollinator,
Okay.
A pollinator. You'll see on the stuff I give you.
Right, because this one I can tell it's more sensitive to the heat. But that one would be okay planted?
Both of these could
Okay.
be. But you don't want to plant all of them.
No, I know, there's not enough.
They get big. So here you can see reed. That was the one I'm recommending.
Okay.
You want an all the A pollinators are much more regular. The B pollinators, they're not quite as regular.
Hang on to that.
They're a little more.
Hang on.
Well, I'm going to give you all of it.
Okay.
So I'll just keep them together. The ones that are bee pollinators, like the Charwell, they need an A pollinator near them so that they fruit more,
Okay.
and they're more vulnerable to cold weather to make them not fruit.
Oh.
But the
okay.
advantage is you got to mix them because they produce fruit in the opposite time of year.
Yeah.
So you know, and they're different looking fruit. They taste just as good, but they're more novel.
Yeah, you said most of yours are like an oily one.
All of them.
Okay,
All
because
of them.
the watery ones are like such a disappointment.
Yeah, we don't. But you know what? If you eat something that's supposed to be 6 months from now and it looks big, and you eat it now, it'll be a big disappointment.
Oh, okay.
You got to eat them at the right time.
Okay.
So this is just a nobody tree. I did graft on a gem branch.
Oh.
So this one branch here could turn into a good tree. The rest of these are waiting for you to cut them off and graft on something else.
Yeah, right.
It's not that hard. The one back there is a Pinkerton.
Okay.
So he's got the tag too.
Right.
He's actually kind of nice. He grows tall and skinny. He's an A pollinator, so that's good. He grows fruit late in the year. He'll probably have something here as well that will explain him. As we go this way, This beauty in this little tiny pot is a Charwil from
Oh,
seed.
it is? Okay.
So he's 10 years till he actually grows fruit.
Oh my gosh.
So he's more like cut the top off because
Okay.
he wants to live really bad. And he's really done well for being in a tiny pot. Same with the one behind here. Although I don't know what this one is, but he's another seedling.
Okay.
So in a lot of ways, all the ones from seed are unknown.
Okay.
Although there's a good chance I know he's Charwil. Charwils, you can see a little bit, the skin has red freckles on it. Right in through
Okay.
here.
Can you see, Jenny?
I just,
And we'll see when we go look at the mother tree in the
Okay.
back. But the red freckles are only the Charwils have that.
Okay.
So he's looking like he's like his parents. We come this way. This is the one that's the Gwen. It's doing better now that the hot weather's over. I wouldn't plant Gwen here. It seems more
Okay.
vulnerable than all the rest.
It needs a little shade.
It needs too much shade.
Oh.
But it is a small dwarf tree.
Okay.
And it's a very heavy producer, so they say, although I haven't seen it yet.
Well, how old do you think that one is?
2 maybe.
Okay.
He's old enough that he should have done better by now. I wouldn't put him in the ground.
Okay, but he likes shade.
But when you read about him, I got a bunch of stuff on him here. You'll see that he's got a good written reputation, but
Okay.
that one's just not. Because you don't have enough to plant everybody. So
Right. No, I know.
This is the other Carmen.
Okay.
So again, Carmen can do 2 crops a year, so they say. I've never had one till now.
But they have to be 10. Is that the one you said?
No. This is since he's a named one. He came already grafted.
Oh.
The ones that are like this guy is a seed, so
Okay.
he's a 10-year thing. The Charwil is probably a 10-year thing. This guy, I was growing all these for so I could graft stuff onto them. And,
Were you giving them as gifts to people?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's love. That's love.
Yeah, it's because like this guy, theoretically, especially if I'm lucky and it works, we could graft 6 different kinds of plants on here.
I know that's what she said, that you can graft, and I don't know if I could do it there.
The only thing you got to be careful about is if you're successful, then you still might overtax the tree because you might have fruit all year round on different branches and different kinds of fruit. I don't know.
I don't
what
think
happened.
I would do that though. I would just let the plant